Bhaktavrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai
Jai Jai Shri
Shri
Chaitanya.
Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai
Jai
Advaita Chandra. Jai
Bhaktavrinda.
Gaura.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrinda.
Can somebody please read?
I can read.
Okay, thank you.
Chapter 14. The Ecstasy of the Lord and His Devotees. The symptoms of high developed devotional service for Krishna, which are exhibited by the pure devotees, are sometimes imitated by those who are not actually pure devotees. This is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Without devotional service to Krishna, such symptoms are artificial, not actual. Sometimes those who are not conversant with the science of devotional service are captivated by the exhibition of such symptoms, but learned devotees know that they are simply imitation.
So because we are hearing about bhava and how in bhava there is certain symptoms, so we may misuse this. We may artificially try to show that we have this symptoms just to get fame or worship from others. Because not everyone knows so well the science of devotional service. So those who are innocent, they may think, oh wow, really this person, wow, must be somebody great. But we may just be after just some worship, some adoration. But those who are devotees, they know, they understand, oh, that this is not real. This is just some show going on.
According to the various divisions and gradations of devotees, permanent devotional attitudes can be divided into 5 categories: peacefulness, service to Krishna, friendship with Krishna, parental affection towards Krishna, and conjugal love for Krishna. Each division has its own taste and relish, and a devotee situated in a particular division is happy in that position. Characteristic symptoms exhibited by a pure devotee are generally laughing and crying when emotions are favorable. A pure devotee laughs when emotions are not favorable, he cries.
So here, Lord Chaitanya is speaking about the 5 rasas, that each living entity has. Could be Shantras, Dasyaras, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or conjugal. So what the living entity has, he may be a friend of Krishna, and he may know that, oh, that conjugal love is higher, but he's so happy to be Krishna's friend. He doesn't care. For him, this is his satisfaction. This is the ultimate for him, because that's the eternal relationship that he has with Krishna. And he's completely blissful in that situation. And of course, here Prabhupada is saying sometimes there's laughing and crying depending on what emotion the devotee is feeling. Like sometimes the gopis would cry and cry because they're missing Krishna so much. And then when they're together with Krishna, they're all laughing and dancing.
Situated
So,
above these two emotions is permanent love, which is called Sthayi Bhava. In other words, when one's attachment to Krishna is permanent, one is situated in Sthayi Bhava. That permanent loving attitude is sometimes mixed with different kinds of taste called Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari. Vibhava is particular taste or attachment for Krishna, and it can be divided into further categories, Alambana and Udipana. In the Agni Purana and other authoritative scriptures, that which increases one's love for Krishna is said to be Vibhava. and when. Krishna is the objective. Vibhava is described as alambana. Udipanas include Krishna's transcendental qualities, his activities, his beautiful smiling face, and the aroma of his body, the sounds of his flute, ankle bells, and conch shell, the marks on the soles of his feet, his dwelling place, and his paraphernalia of devotional service, such as tulsi leaves, devotees, ceremonial performances, and ekadashi. Anubhava occurs when feelings and emotions within oneself are exhibited. In the attitude of Anubhava, one dances and sometimes falls down, sometimes sings loudly, shows convulsions, yawn, and sometimes breathes very heavily, all without concern for circumstances.
So then Lord Chaitanya is giving us more information, more knowledge about these two emotions, above the laughing and crying is the sthayi bhav, the permanent love, that the loving emotion which the living entity has, the rasa that the living entity has, as the sthayi bhav. And then this permanent ras that one has is sometimes mixed with different vibhav, anubhav, and vyabhichari. What is vibhav? Is a particular taste or attachment for Krishna, and it can be divided into further categories, alambana and udipana. So that which increases one's love for Krishna is said to be vibhav. And when Krishna is objective, vibhav is described as alambana. Udipanas include Krishna's transcendental qualities, his activities, his beautiful smiling face, and the aroma of his body, the sounds of his flute, ankle bells, and conch shell, the marks on the soles of his feet, his dwelling place, and his paraphernalia of devotional service, such as tulsi leaves, devotees, ceremonial performances, and ekadashi. So these are the different symptoms of what the devotee is feeling in his love with Krishna, love for Krishna, and his relationship with Krishna.
The external features exhibited on the bodies of devotees are called das udbhasvara. The vyabhichari symptoms are 33 in number, and they primarily involve words uttered by the devotee and various bodily features. Different bodily features such as dancing, trembling, and laughing sometimes mix with vyabhichari symptoms, which are also called sanchari. When bhava, anubhav, and vyabhichari symptoms are combined, they make the devotee dive into the ocean of immortality. That ocean is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of pure nectar of devotional service. And one who is merged in that ocean is always wrapped in transcendental pleasure on the waves and sounds of that ocean.
So because he has this love, he has the attachment, he has this relationship with Krishna, so there are of course different symptoms, there are different emotions. And with this, we also, when we have a loving relationship with someone, then there are times there are different emotions, there's different degrees of happiness. But that is compared to just a drop in the desert, compared to the ocean, unlimited ocean of nectar, of devotional service.
The particular rasas, flavors, or taste of the devotees who merge into that ocean of Bhakti Rasamrita are known as neutrality, servitorship, friendship, parenthood, and conjugal love. Conjugal love is very prominent, and it is symptomized by the devotees decorating his body to attract Krishna. The flavor of servitorship increases to include affection, anger, fraternity, and attachment. The flavor of friendship increases to include affection, anger, fraternity, attachment, and devotion in parenthood. The attachment also increases to include affection, anger, fraternity, attachment, and devotion. There are also special flavors experienced in friendship with the Supreme Lord. and these are manifested by friends such as Subala, whose devotion increases up to the point of bhava. The different rasas are also divided into two kinds of ecstasy, called yoga and viyoga, or meeting and separation. In the rasas of friendship and parenthood, the feelings of meeting and separation are various.
So here, Lord Chaitanya is saying that how with each ras, more and more is added. Flavor of servitorship increases to include affection, anger, fraternity, and affection. But in French, that's on dasya level. But in friendship, which is higher, so there is affection, there's anger, there's fraternity, there's attachment, but there's also devotion. So devotion gets added. And in parenthood, it becomes more. The intensity is more. So how one ras gets more and more condensed, more and more condensed. So then again, it's said there are two kinds of ecstasy, yoga and viyog, meeting or separation. Okay.
The situations known as Rudra, advanced, and Adhirudra, highly advanced, are possible only in the ras of conjugal love. Conjugal love, exhibited by the queens of Dwarka, is called Rudra, and conjugal love, exhibited at the Vrindavan by the damsels of Vraja, is called Adhirudra. The highest perfections of Adhirudra affection is conjugal love, involve meeting, Madana, and separation, Mohana. In the ecstasy of Madana, there is kissing, and in the ecstasy of Mohana, there are Urna, unsteadiness, and Chitra Jalpa, varieties of mad emotional talks. There are 10 varieties of Chitra Jalpa, examples of which are given in Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 47, 12 to 21. In a portion known as the Brahmara Gita, Udgurna, a symptom of separation, is also a symptom of transcendental insanity. In that transcendental insanity, one thinks that he himself has become the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such an ecstasy, he imitates the symptoms of Krishna in different ways.
So this is all on the platform of pure love. No lust is there. No lust. Then in conjugal love, which is the highest ras, there is Rudra and Adhirudra. So what is Rudra? Rudra is what is the queens of Dwarka, Rukmini, Satyabhama, what they have for Krishna. And Adhirudra is what the gopis have for Krishna. So there is a slight difference there. And in Adhirudra, there is Madana and Mohana. What is that? Meeting and separation. The gopis are sometimes meeting Krishna and sometimes they are separated. Unsteadiness. Then because of when they are meeting, there's kissing. But when there is separation, then they go completely. Sometimes they are unsteady and sometimes they go mad. And to different various degrees, depending on the emotion. Like how we hear that Srimati Radharani, how she's speaking to the bumblebee. And she's completely like just immersed in Krishna's love. And so that's how she's talking to the bumblebee. All this is transcendental. Not on the material platform. Material platform, when we lose it, then we are called psychotic or something. But this is completely transcendental. It's very, very high levels because the love for Krishna is so intense that one completely forgets himself. We can see also a slight degree of it. When we love someone, we are so attached to them, then we forget everything else. We just want to care for them and we might be just talking about them. And if they are separated from us, then our emotions would be so going crazy. So that is just a reflection of what is there on the spiritual platform. The real emotion, the real love is there on the spiritual platform. Between the living entity and Krishna.
The two divisions of ecstasy experienced in relationship of conjugal love are Sambhoga, meeting, and Vipralambha, separation. On the Sambhoga platform, the ecstasies are unlimited, and on the Vipralambha platform, they are four in number. The ecstasy exhibited before the lover and beloved meet, the ecstasy experienced between them after meeting, the state of mind experienced by not meeting, and the state of mind experienced after meeting, but fearing separation, are called Vipralambha. That Vipralambha serves as a nourishing element for future meeting. When the lover and the beloved meet all of a sudden and embrace one another, they feel an ecstasy of happiness, and the state of mind they experience in that ecstasy is called Sambhoga. According to the situation, Sambhoga ecstasy is also known by four names: Sangsipta, Sankirna, Sampanna, or Samriddhina. Such symptoms are also visible during dreams.
This is completely very highly spiritual platform, very advanced. It's Lord Caitanya, who's such a strict sannyasi, is speaking to Sanatana Gosvāmī, who's also such a strict personally of how he's conducting himself. So this is not mundane talks between a normal man and a normal woman. No, this is talks between Krishna and his lovers. So Sambhoga and Vipralambha. Sambhoga meeting, Vipralambha separation. So separation, then again separation. There is the desire that they're going to meet, the anticipation, the happiness. When you're separated for some time with the person you love, then when you're going to meet, then there's this anticipation, how it's going to be. And then when they actually meet, the emotional exchange that's happening, the happiness that they're feeling, then that's if they meet. But if they don't meet, then the mind is also crazy. Or another is that they have met, but feeling, oh, we will be separated again. So this is called Vipralambha. This is what the gopis were showing when Krishna left for Mathura. And they went Vrindavan. Vipralambha is what Lord Caitanya teaches us, that how he's loving Krishna in separation. That's the mood that Lord Caitanya would like us to cultivate. Loving Krishna in separation. Because right now we are separated from Krishna. We need to cultivate this mood. Vipralambha.
The mental state experienced before meeting is called Purva Raga. The obstacles that impede the meeting between the lover and beloved are called man and anger. When the lover and beloved are separated, the mental state experienced is called pravasa. Feelings of separation which are present under certain conditions, even when the lovers meet, are called love anxiety, prema vaichitya. Such love anxieties are exhibited in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:90-15 by Krishna's queens, who kept awake nights and watched him sleep. Afraid of being separated from Krishna, they talked among themselves about how they had been affected by his beautiful eyes and smile.
So before meeting, the feeling that they are going through is called Purvarag. And the obstacles that impede the meeting, man or anger. Srimati Radharani has this, She'll sometimes get so angry at Krishna. And he makes up different ways of how to pacify her, how to, calm her down. So there's also love anxiety, because the love is so much that although they are together, sometimes the gopis, the Radharani, she's feeling, oh, Krishna will leave me and go. Prema Vaichitya, love anxiety. Even though they are together, they're anticipating that they will get separated. And then Lord Chaitanya is saying this is what the queens are feeling. So they're staying awake at night. They're staying awake at night and they're seeing him sleep because they're afraid that Krishna might leave them or they might be separated from Krishna. The love is so much. It's so much that they cannot bear to be separated from Krishna. You know, like when we are attached to something or someone, then we are very fearful that we'll lose them. I don't know if you'll have experienced that. You're always very careful if that fear is there, or what if I lose them, or what if I lose the thing and everything. So here, the gopis, the queens have this deep, deep love for Krishna.
The supreme lover is Krishna in Vrindavan, and the supreme beloved is Radharani. Krishna has 64 main qualities, and his devotee takes transcendental pleasure in hearing of them. As explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the characteristics are as follows. His body is well constructed. His body is full of auspicious symptoms. His body is beautiful. He is very glorious. He is very strong. He always looks like a boy of 16. He is well versed in various languages. He is truthful. He is decorated with pleasing words. He is expert in speaking. He is very learned. He is very intelligent. He is influential. He is joyful. He is cunning. He is expert. He is grateful. He is firmly convinced. He knows how to deal with different circumstances. He is always conversant with scriptural injunctions. He is clean. He is controlled by his devotees. He is steady. He is self-controlled. He is forgiving. He is grave. He is self-satisfied. He is fair in his dealing. He is magnanimous. He is religious. He is a great hero. He is merciful. He is respectful. He is competent. He is gentle. He is modest. He is the protector of the souls surrendered unto him. He is the deliverer. He is the friend of the devotee. He is submissive to love. He is all auspicious. He is most powerful. He is famous. He is devoted to all living entities. He is worshipable by everyone. He is very attractive to all women. He is partial to his devotees. He is full of all opulences. He is the supreme controller. And number 50, he possesses all honor.
Please continue.
These 50 qualities are fragmentally present in every living entity. When a human being is completely spiritually free and situated in his original condition, all these qualities can be perceived in him in minute quantity. In Krishna, however, they exist in totality. There are 5 other transcendental qualities mentioned below, which can be seen in Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, and partially in Lord Shiva also. But they are not visible in ordinary living entities. These qualities are as follows. He is always situated in his original condition. He is omniscient. He is evergreen or always fresh. He is eternally blissful. He is the master of all perfection. Besides these 5 transcendental characteristics, there are 5 others which can be seen in the spiritual sky, especially in the Vaikuntha planets, where Narayan is the predominating deity. These are, he has inconceivable potencies. He is able to sustain innumerable universes. He is the seed of incarnations, of all incarnations. He grants the highest perfection to those enemies whom he kills. He is attractive to self-realized persons. The above-mentioned 60 qualities are visible in Narayan, but Krishna has 4 special qualities, which are: he is able to manifest wonderful pastimes, he is expert at transcendental flute playing, he is surrounded by loving devotees, he possesses unparalleled personal beauty.
So Krishna has 64 qualities in full, unlimitedly. And because we are part and parcel of Krishna, we have 50 of those qualities, but in minute quantity, very minute. That also when we become perfect in our spiritual position, and in the position of the soul. So Brahmaji has this 50 qualities. And Lord Shiva, he has 5 more qualities. Lord Shiva is Shiva Tattva by himself. He's not an ordinary living entity. So Lord Shiva has 55 qualities. Lord Vishnu has 5 more. So 60 qualities. And Krishna has all 64.
Thus, Krishna has 64 transcendental qualities. Srimati Radharani has 25 transcendental qualities with which she can control even Krishna. Her transcendental qualities are as follows. She is sweetness personified. She is a fresh young girl. Her eyes are always moving. She is always brightly smiling. She possesses all auspicious marks on her body. She can agitate Krishna by the aroma of her person. She is expert in the art of singing. She speaks very nicely and sweetly. She is expert in presenting feminine attractions. She is modest and gentle. She is always very merciful. She is transcendentally cunning. She knows how to dress nicely. She is always shy. She is always respectful. She is always patient. She is very grave. She is enjoyed by Krishna. She is always situated on the highest devotional platform. She is the abode of love of the residents of Gokul. She can give shelter to all kinds of devotees. She is always affectionate to superiors and inferiors. She is always obliged by the dealings of her associates. She is the greatest among Krishna's girlfriends. She always keeps Krishna under her control.
So Krishna has 64 qualities. Right? Srimati Radharani, with her qualities, she can even control Krishna. These are the 25 qualities. So Krishna is called Madan Mohan. And Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini. Madan Mohan, attractor of Cupid. Madan Mohan Mohini, one who attracts, the attractor of Cupid. That is the position of Srimati Radharani. That she is captured Krishna's heart and she has controlled her by her love, not control by manipulation or, but by her love, her pure love for Krishna. That's how she controls him. So,
That's Krishna and
well, let's stop here. It's time.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and joining in today. Lord Caitanya ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta ki jai, Hare Krishna. In fact, today is the appearance day of Gadadhar
Hare Krishna.
Pandit. Hare Krishna, Gadadhar Pandit. Right?
Okay.
That's what was the